Today on the Travel Magazine, we will take you on a Costa Caribean cruise. Departing from Miami into the setting sun of the Western Caribbean, we will call on the ports of Ocho Rios, Jamaica, Cozumel, Mexico, and the Grand Cayman Islands. And when you're not in port, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this unique cruise. In the language of music, which is of course Italian, Allegra means light, lively, and spirited. And there's no better way to describe cruising on the Costa Allegra. The warmth and spirit of Italy is reflected in every smile, and you soon realize that this is more than a traditional cruise. This is cruising Italian style. Grazie.
We do have a lot more of a European flavor on board, not just from the officers and staff, but also from the other passengers. We bring a little bit of Europe to the Caribbean and to all of our cruises worldwide. And we have a large and loyal following from all over the world. This is really, I think, one of our most special ships. First of all, from the size, it's only 800 passengers, which these days is such a much more comfortable and relaxed and intimate kind of size. Everyone gets personal attention. They're not treated like a number. They're a person. What is really special about this ship, I think, is the decor. It's known in some countries as the crystal ship because it has so much glass. We used a lot of Murano glass from the Italian glass design studios.
Well, nowadays a ship has a concept of a big hotel. We say floating hotel, but we don't like it. We prefer to say sailing hotel because we don't only float, but we travel, we sail. And we move from Miami and we go to all the Caribbean, you say. But still, the hospitality is the hospitalities you can find in a hotel with a little more, because we have the wind blowing from favorable direction and pushing us to the seas.
It's almost like having being in a hotel where they pull up a new country to your front doorstep every other day or so.
The unique itinerary of Costa's Western Caribbean cruise allows you 3 full days at sea, enough time to really enjoy what the ship has to offer. Spend some time with old friends, meet people from different parts of the world, or just enjoy the cruise. The first port of call is Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
Ocho Rios is different from the other towns, especially if you're coming off of a cruise ship. Is exceptionally good because it's right, the cruise pier is right downtown, and you can walk from the ship into Ocho Rios. It started out as a little fishing village, and in the 70s the government stepped in, built up the beach, built some hotels along the beach, and started out as a premier tourist resort. The main beach, which you can see very clearly from the ship and from the air, extends all the way across the Ocho Rios harbor. And it's right downtown, which is what makes it special, because once you're in Ocho Rios, you can always get to the main beach. It has all the water sports, everything from parasailing, jet skiing, windsurfing, you name it. And the snorkeling and scuba diving off this coast is absolutely remarkable.
This is our island in the sun. Where my people are style since time.
The Ocho Rios Craft Market, which is the largest craft market in Ocho Rios, it offers quite a variety of Jamaican craft, all made in Jamaica, all hand done. Straw goods, wood carvings, paintings, lots of paintings. We have a lot of really brilliant artists and sculptors here in Jamaica, and a lot of people come to Jamaica just to collect our artwork. You'll find a lot of the budding painters will sell their stuff at the craft market. We have a lot of the international artists who started out in the craft market, and so it's usually a good place to start. You get their work when they're budding and hope that they'll become somebody one day. You bargain, you have to haggle. It's expected of you. If you just buy off the bat, then they've really taken you for a ride. I usually say start at half of whatever they say. Don't expect to pay half, you won't get away with that either. But work your way up to 3/4 of whatever they say. Settle somewhere between what you say and what they say. Feel free to bargain. If you've been to Ocho Rios and you've not been to Duns River Falls, you've not really been to Ocho Rios. I would say at least 75% of the people coming off of the cruise ship would go to Duns River Falls. Duns River Falls is a 600-foot cascade. You actually climb the waterfall. That's what makes it unique. Most waterfalls that you see all over the world, you can just look at them. This one you actually climb up with the aid of a guide. Duns River Falls is near the site of what was the Battle of Las Trueras, which was one of the last battles fought between the Spanish and the English for control of the island way back in the 1600s. It's one of the main attractions while you're here.
After a full day of activities ashore, there is no better place to enjoy a Caribbean sunset than at sea. The Costa Elegance, with its spectacular tableside presentations, makes dining a memorable part of the cruise. Italians have always had a love affair with food.
We have an international cuisine, but still we try to give also to the international cuisine the Italian flavor, because we have Italian cooks on the ship. All the chefs of partie are Italian, the sous chefs are Italians, and they are the ones who will guarantee the Italian flavor to the cruising Italian style.
Italian-inspired nightlife is sure to sweep you off your feet. And if you have enough energy after a full day, there is plenty to do at night. The midnight tropical buffet is a highlight of the evening, where the ship's chefs will not only delight you with their culinary skills, but show you another side to their talents in a spectacular ice carving demonstration.
Buonasera, good evening. Bonsoir, guten Abend. What do you say on this ship? Buonasera.
Buonasera.
Okay, buonasera. This looks beautiful. Thank you.
But if you prefer a more tranquil evening, the Costa's elegant lounge allows you to experience that Italian romantic charm.
We'll be back with more of Cruising Italian Style right after this, so stay with us.
When I was little boy, 5, 6 years old, my father and my mother, they asked me, what you like to do when you grow up? I say, captain, captain. My background, it's at sea. My father, my grandfather, all my family, they work at sea.
The second port of call is Cozumel and the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza.
This is the island of Cozumel. You know, it's named today Cozumel, but in the Mayan time was named, Kusam Lumil. And Kusam Lumil, which means the land of the swallows. In Cozumel, we have only one city, which is named today the San Miguel. So we are riding now through the city of San Miguel. Most of the people who are living today in Cozumel, we are part of the Mayan descendants. We have beautiful beaches, where most of the people are practicing, the snorkeling and the diving. Diving, it is, the major activity of the island of Cozumel.
You can still hear the legends as they've been whispered for thousands of years. Chichen Itza is considered to be one of the largest Mayan civilizations. It's an ancient city of pyramids, temples, and stairways that lead to the heavens.
This construction was used for astronomy. It was the sundial. Astronomers was used that construction to see important days, like equinoxes and solstices. This construction we consider one of the best pyramids in the Mayan world. The whole construction is dedicated to the solar system. Steps means the days, platforms means the months, and also those decorations means the cycle of the solar system. If you put your feet like this, you're never going to fall down. Yeah? So that's why the Mayas was built steps like this, because you have to climb those steps in zigzag. Because Kukulkan, he's descending like a plume serpent. We have the temple up on top. The temple, there are 4 chambers for important ritual ceremonies of Kukulkan, or the plume serpent. That construction was used for celebrations of the equinoxes. Every 21st March and September, many people, mixed people, Mayan people, tourist people came here to see the equinox. This is the biggest ball court. We have many of those in Chichen, but this is the biggest one. In that time, those people was playing ritual games. Also, the game of the gods of the night and day. In that time, 7 players in each team was playing. 2 teams was playing here with a rubber ball with 9 pounds heavy. With your elbows, with your knees and hips, you have to hit the ball, and you have to put the ball through the hoops of those rings. You can see all those people use bombs through the nose, like this. Also headdresses with different feathers, a different design of pectorals, sandals, also the protections like solar symbols. That's the temple of the jaguars, warriors. All the spectators were sitting up on top of those constructions, and those temples was used for the same ritual games. This is one of the most important constructions of the warriors. According to the investigations, those people was built first this pyramid and then many additional constructions. We have beautiful columns with the most important people, like prisoners, like warriors, like chief soldiers, and also priest soldiers.
We'll be back with more of the Travel Magazine right after this, so stay with us.
The ship sets sail for a final stop on our Western Caribbean cruise, the island of Grand Cayman. Costa's Italian-style cruising is a welcome change from the traditional cruising holiday. All its ships are born to sail with a grace and warmth that can only come from Italy.
Like long time ago, guys that have their own personal fishing boats used to go out and they go fishing and catch a load of fish. Then they would come back in anchor up at the shallow part, and they'd stand in the water and clean their fish and scrub their boats. And you know, stingrays being bottom feeders, they just started coming around after a while and feeding off all these scraps. They see the boats coming up and hear the boats coming, then they just assume that there's going to be a lot of people in the water and there's going to be a lot of food in the water. So they're pretty aware of what's going on. But it's important when you go to Stingray City to go with an experienced guide, somebody that's been doing these trips for a long time, somebody that knows the stingrays, knows how they act. You know, you can't really never know them personally, but you have to know details about their tail and where the barb is, the part that stings you, how to feed them correctly so you don't get your hands in their mouth. They don't have any teeth or anything, but they have two real hard plates. And if you accidentally get your hand in their mouth, then they can mash it up real bad. You know, I tell the people to relax and don't start jumping around in the water, because if you do that, then you can be jumping up and down on the stingrays. And they're not really apt to sting you, but they do have some hard bones in the middle of their back. And if you jump up and down on them, you can hurt your feet and hurt the stingray. Besides all the diving and the game fishing around the island, this is probably one of the highlights that the people think of, and the different stops that we do on our snorkel trips all the time. While they're on the boat, they're always asking, when are we going to get to Stingray City? Are we going to go there now? How long are we going to be there? Most of the time, they're really interested in the stingrays.
People know they're going to enjoy the itinerary, and that's what they think they've bought the cruise for. But when it all is said and done, what they really enjoyed most was the service and attention they got from their waiter and busboy and their cabin steward. That just really bowls them over and makes them come back, regardless of what the itinerary is.
Questo sì che mi piace, bravo.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Travel Magazine. From the Costa Alegre, Miami, Florida, ciao!